day now, Rebecca. It's just so Rebecca like,
Greetings.
greetings.
Listen, this white monster gives me my personality, so
It does give you your personality in fairness, girl.
without this, I am nothing.
Hey,
Hi.
welcome back to the podcast.
Welcome back to another episode. I don't know, it's 30 something.
I think it's 34, maybe,
I've
perhaps.
I've, lo I've lost track.
Same. Edging.
It took a while, but I lost track finally.
We're edging more and more closer to the 1 year mark.
52 episodes is going to be so crazy.
I
Also,
know.
I just want to put out a formal apology for my quality last week
Yay. I was
because
like, she was like, it's fine on my side. I was like, girl.
you were like, you're glitchy as fuck. No, we got a Wi-Fi booster, a Wi-Fi extender. Everything seems to be fine. And if this episode isn't fine, I'm literally just gonna vlog it like a YouTube video and then
Yeah,
edit it in that way. But
she's
hopefully
such
we're
a queen
back.
like that.
Because just because I'm in Rome, I don't want the quality to be shit and people
No,
to be
you're
like,
actually
ugh,
so like on time today, whereas like last week I was like, what the heck is going on? What the heck? Now you're perfect. Like actually, like is in it's like re the most real time. Like
we're here and reach out. It's like we're together, me
it's
and
like we're
you.
literally together right now.
There's people
Ooh,
shouting
neighbor
Italian.
drama.
It's the most stunning, beautiful, gorgeous day in Rome. It's like blue sky, sunshine.
It doesn't. It's not really here. It was this morning though, but I will say spring has sprung because guess who to take her first antihistamine today? This little
I
bitch.
love
Oh
how
my
that's your
girlie, stand up.
I love that how that's your benchmark. You're like spring is here because I have oh my God, remember last year I kind
I
of got it.
know. I literally walked into mom today and I was like, spring has sprung. I need to take an antihistamine. She's like, has it? That's always the marker. Because when I have to start taking them, you know that it's sprung. But yeah, I've had to start taking it. I was sneezing this morning. I'm not now, thank God.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, yeah, it's great.
Stunning, beautiful, gorgeous, amazing.
Where'd
That
you?
is fantastic news. Also, in fantastic news, we did something this week that we have been wanting to do for, no, sorry, Neve did something this week that we have been wanting to do for
Oh
so fucking long.
oh
Um,
my God, yes. Like, no,
What
the
did
fact
you?
that I didn't even register it there, I was like, what did we do? What did we do? I was like, what did I do? Yes,
Yeah,
we
I was
did.
like, we, and then I was like, there was no we. It was
I was
all
like,
Neve.
no, when you said me, I was like, oh crap, what did I do the weekend? Yeah, guys, we've got a like anonymous submission box. So this is the start of the podcast. We're gonna let you know we have one. You can find it on our Instagram. It's gonna be in the bio of this YouTube, Spotify, whatever you listen to on, it will be in the bio. It is, when I mean to say completely anonymous. You do not give your email address. We don't get a first name or last name. You just have to agree to some terms and conditions before you submit. There's boxes you can click what you want to submit, and then a text box in which you tell us what your topic, dilemma, question is. And then we will read it out in the podcast if it fits our T's and C's, you know?
Yeah, and also some people have been using it for blind items like Dumois, which is really fun. Like
Yeah,
blind item submissions.
they have. They have. Now, obviously, we have,
I
oh,
mean, we're down for you saying whatever.
yeah, I mean, we're cool with it, but I mean, if it's something that is offensive to people, we will not obviously post it. So, yeah, but we should we start with that? Or what do you
I
think?
think we should. Yeah, because
Yeah,
we got our first like dilemma.
we did. Okay, I'll start with the dilemma first. So, okay, here we
Okay,
go.
great. This is
Yay!
so I've been waiting for this moment.
I know, and I love that it's long enough. It's not like a question box. People can actually write it in. Okay, here we go. Hello, girlies. I love the podcast. Thank you. First of all, thank you, Queen.
We love you.
Like every other young Irish person, have moved abroad and I'm living in Oz. I'm dating a boy from New Zealand and I'm quickly falling in love with him. My dilemma is as a typical overthinking girl, I'm worried that he will never want to live in Ireland and I'm afraid to commit to living in Oz or New Zealand for the rest of my life. We have talked about it before and he's been honest from the start that he never saw himself living in Ireland. I'm not 100% sure I want to live there either, but I feel like now that the option to go home whenever I want is kind of gone, I'm feeling scared. What do I do? How do I discuss this with him? Help.
when I say I was just talking about this topic on TikTok, like
Yeah.
just. So, because since I've moved to Rome, so many people have asked me, like, when are you moving home? How long are you in
Mm,
Rome for? Are you going to stay in Rome forever?
yeah.
So I just want to start this off by number one, you fell in love. That's stunning, beautiful, gorgeous, amazing. We love that
Yeah.
for you. It's Valentine's. Oh my God, this is the Valentine's Day special.
Oh, Valentine's Day special. Galentine's.
Galentine's. We're here
Yeah.
to answer your Galentine's dilemma.
Yes.
So my first point will be when people move away, especially, I don't know what it is. I think it's like an Irish thing because immigration's so deeply ingrained in our ancestry, in our
Mm.
diaspora. Like, I don't even know if I use the word diaspora correctly there, but I feel like it fit the narrative, the lore. So, because it's so deeply ingrained, when I moved to Australia, everyone was like,
Beck, will
oh,
you put
only
down that
go.
lip gloss thing? Sorry, you're distracting me.
Oh, sorry.
I was like, I'm looking at that when you're talking. Will you just talk?
I'm like a witch with a wand.
I was like, I'm
When
actually not listening to what she's saying. Sorry, go on again.
when I moved to Australia, everyone was like, oh, only go for a year. Don't fall in love with an Australian.
Mm,
Like, you're only going for a year. As human beings, we like to know things. We like to know, or we think we like to know, like predict the future. My best advice for this would be don't think about it too much, too much, too much, too
too
much.
much.
Live in the moment. You have said in your message, you don't even know if you want to live in Ireland forever. So
Mm,
your brain is out here like creating all these hypothetical scenarios
mm,
of what if we fall in love and he doesn't want to move back to Ireland,
mm,
which I totally get. Like it's a total real issue, especially when you date someone who doesn't live where you are, as someone also who has experience with that. And like there's visa issues and all that. But at the end of the day, that's not an issue you're having right now. You're in Australia, you fall in love with a New Zealand man, you're both in Australia. Your relationship could end next week. You could decide in 2 weeks, I don't want to be with this man anymore. But as you already said, you started your message being like, I'm an overthinking girly. And I know it's so hard, but you don't have to give anyone absolutes. You don't have to say, we're going to stay here for a year and then we're going to move to Ireland and we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Because that's all future stuff that you're not, of course, if it comes up that you really want to move back to Ireland, then you have that conversation with him and be like, I really want to move, see how he reacts. He might be like, okay, I'm going to try it with you. Or, okay, we're going to go to Europe or this or that. But there's no point creating like hypothetical what ifs or I don't, but that's just the way I work because I think you're
I
just
was going to say, I
stressing
have a
yourself
completely
out.
different opinion to this than what you
Yeah,
said.
which
M-
which is why I love us. But
Yeah.
yeah, I genuinely think, of course, when you fall in love with someone, it is an issue. But if you don't know if you definitely want to live in Ireland, I think a lot of people have a lot of pressure because I was talking about this on TikTok from people at home being like, oh, you stay there a year and then come back and like settle down and start your life. And it's like your life can be wherever you're most happy. And if you're most happy in Australia with this man
Mm.
right now, then in my brain, that's all that matters. But I'm a very like live in the now, don't think about the future girly. Whereas
Mm.
Neo,
Yeah, I'm opposite. And so this is the one thing about the podcast, you're always going to get completely different perspectives on the dilemma. So at least you're getting a well-rounded view. So my thing is, right, that would be an issue for me as well. I completely get why that girl wrote that in, and she's kind of starting to panic about that now because, like, I'll be so honest with you, that would be a deal breaker for me. I would get rid of him. Like, and I'm not just saying it in an avoidant tendency. Like, it's just something that, right? I feel like men don't need to worry about it as much. Now, this could be a completely sweeping generalization term when I say this, but as women, when you fall in love, you often think about, oh, when I've got kids and, this far down the line or whatever. And I'm just assuming, I'm just making a general assumption that if they've talked about in the future, would he move to Ireland? And he's already said no, like that conversation has happened. So what you're saying about there, could they try Europe and go to Ireland? He's already told her no. And I think that that is amazing. He's been so open and communicative with her that that's just not an option. And he's not going to change his mind on it. He's opened his communication window with her this early on in the thing. He's already said no. So we don't even have to like consider will he change his mind. He's already told her it's a no, okay? So like that's not an option for down the line. Would he move to Europe? Would he do Ireland? He said no to her. That's what she said in the dilemma. So What I would say is, if it is something like Rebecca said, like I would live in the moment now, you're obviously really happy with him now and you love him and you're with him or whatever. But for me, if I had kids, I would want to know that I would have the option to bring my kids home to Ireland, like if I wanted them to go to school here, or if I wanted them to be more around their nana and granddad or around their cousins, or like, my best friends like have kids here. So I want my kids to know their kids, that kind of a way.
Hmm.
And I feel like that is something, like Rebecca was saying, like, immigration has always been in our ancestry, unfortunately. But my mom has always said to me that Ireland's call to come home is always very big. So even if you're like, I'm never coming back to that country, you're still very young. Like you could
Hmm.
feel completely different in a few years' time. Now you might want to go home at all. But why should you shut down the option of going back to Ireland just because the man that you're in love with now doesn't want to go? That's not a compromise there. Do you know what I mean? Like he's
Mm.
not compromising on that. That's something, and I respect that that's his boundary. But that's not a compromising situation. Do you know what I mean? That's not going to change. So I do think that like you need to just like think about that in the long term before, say if you're living with him like a year now, I wouldn't get in any deeper with that if it's a case of like, that's something that maybe will come into it with you. And like I always say, you can fall in love with anyone. So I don't know, girly path. Maybe it's something to think about, but yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't like be like, oh, I wouldn't change my whole life idea for some. See, also with me, like children don't even come into my brain.
Mm,
Like that's why I love our dynamic because
yeah.
like the way I see my future is so different to the way you would see your future. But I think, well, not so different, but you know what I mean. I'm still going to be the cool aunt around all my kids'
Oh,
kids,
facts. Always.
flying in, jetting in. But yeah, I think like you have to be very clear with like your deal breakers and like if you think there's a potentiality of you wanting to live in Ireland. Like you're
Mm.
not going to change his mind. Don't go into it like trying to change his mind. Don't be like,
Mm.
oh, it'll be fine. And like maybe he'll change his mind because as Niamh said, if he's like hard no, never moving to Ireland, and you don't know if you want to live there, then that's definitely a conversation. But I think if it's a case of I don't know, or if he's like, well, maybe I'd be open to moving to Europe, or if there's room, I wouldn't stress about it too much. But if he's giving like hard no, I'm staying in Australia and New Zealand forever, like it doesn't matter. That it's like if someone doesn't want kids, like you're not going to stay with them and hopefully convince them that they want children because that's what a lot of people do, and then you end up wasting time. But if you're happily in love, and if there's like room for a conversation about like you know
Mm. I feel
but
like
then
with
again,
with me, I always think back to this is such a random comparison because like what you said there about the kids thing that had already popped into my head. This is so random. I'm even referencing him on the
I'm
podcast. But
so
you know
intrigued as
John
to what.
Cena?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
wrestler.
the wrestler. So basically, he was with one of the Bella. Think they were called the Bella Twins. I used to love WWE when I was
Oh
younger, but
yes,
I
the
know this because they had a program on E around like 2012, 2013, and they basically he was going out with one of them, and she really wanted kids, and he kind of said, "No, I don't want kids. Like I've been very open and honest with you. I don't want kids." So she stayed with him, hoping he would change his mind. He never changed his mind, so she left him. And then when she left him, he was like, "Oh, actually, I will have kids now," because he realized that the loss of her, whatever. And she was like, "Well, tough. I don't want to, like, no. Like, I've given up so much of my life with you." And I think she's had kids with somebody else now. But yeah, like I feel like everyone has the right to feel that the way they want to feel, like 100%. I just feel like when it's something as big as like if it was a case it was a 6 hour flight from home and you could go home regularly, or I don't know, like for like Rebecca when she's living in Rome now, I was in the UK. That's a quick hop home, so you can visit home and honestly never move home, and that's fine because you're still
mm,
it's easily accessible. But like Australia and New Zealand versus Ireland is like other side of
yeah.
it.
It's definitely big, but also if you're like 21 or 22,
Oh
if you're
yes.
very early 20s,
Mm,
just you know, I I'd love more context. I'd love like her live in the call, and I'd be like, so tell me more.
yeah. I
I
wish we
need
could like dub out like
more
there was an
lore.
option to send voice notes, but I think but I don't think that we should do that because people's voices and the way that they speak could be a bit more distinguishable.
Yes, because I think Spotify has that option. It's like turned on or something. But
Yeah.
if you want to send us follow-up questions or queries on this dilemma, we would love a follow-up.
Yeah. Just say at the top when you're putting it in that it's when it says other, say follow up. So give us more
Yeah,
context because we
we
would
would
love to
love.
get into this a bit deeper.
We would love
Amazing.
both our because that's the thing, like everyone's so different. But I think as long as you're making decisions that like you want to make for you,
Mhm.
then you're good. Then you're
That's the main
Gucci.
thing. That
That's the
is the
main
main
thing.
thing. I agree, girl. The
Mm.
second one actually concerns Rebecca.
Oh, the blind
Mhm.
item.
So
Are
he
we talking?
received a blind item and it was like, what are you submitting? And it said other, and I clicked into it and it said Vinny walked out on Rebecca and just left her without notice.
First of all, can I just say both of our reactions to this were so different, and the way you think, either of us, it's
Yeah.
flipped.
It's the
I
polar opposite.
I burst out laughing.
And I
I
was
thought
like,
that
I'm
was
gonna kill them. I was like, who the heck was cheeky enough to send this? Yeah, I was like, did she get him? And you were like,
the
that is
walked
so
out of
funny.
it all is so funny to
I
me.
know. I feel like it's just because I'm defensive over my friends. That's the only reason I react like
But
that.
I just have so many thoughts because first of all,
Mm,
this relationship ended in 2021.
yeah.
Second
So
of
you
all,
waited 3 years, by the way,
but
just to
I've
ask that.
mentioned
Like,
the only ex that I leave his name in episodes
is Vinny.
is Vinny.
Mm,
So walked out without
yeah.
walked out where? We lived in Dubai. Like where was he walking to the airport?
No, when you said that, you were like, walked to where? Like, what is the context in that? I was like, I don't know
Like he
either.
left me with the kids and the dog.
Yeah, literally, like left you so much, like to pay
Walked
the
out.
mortgage on your own.
He walked out on me.
He
I
walked
actually
out on
sent
you.
him the screenshot and he sent like his response were hilarious. And I was like, I can't believe you walked out on me in Dubai. I'm so angry at you.
No, it is. It's so funny. Like, but I just think that the way you reacted was so like iconic. You were just like, I literally mentioned him in the podcast. I'm like, yeah, it's so true. If I was on good terms with mine, I probably would as well, but I don't. Actually, we found out that one of them actually, should we even say it?
Oh, I've been waiting for this.
Basically, I'm just gonna say the one that I give out about all the time blocked me on Instagram, um,
Unblocked.
and blocked me on Facebook, I think, as well.
No, unblocked. Who
Oh, he
else?
blocked the Pay Attention podcast page, so that's how I know that he listened to the podcast. But you know what? I do have
You're
there's
living in this hell rent
connections
free.
of his that basically are following me on Instagram, so they knew that the stories were about him when I was posting the clips on social. Look, I mean, what did Taylor Swift say, Rebecca?
If you don't want me to write about you, then don't do bad things.
Exactly. Thank you. Mic drop.
Mic drop. Like people getting angry about us at us for talking about experiences that we've had with them.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Also, it's not like
Honestly.
we're dropping names.
No, although in fairness,
Addresses.
to be fair, I'm always kind of pretty much single, so it's really easy to figure out. And I always kind of make real indicators because I always try to say that there's one that I've not a bad word to say about. We are so fine, like there's nothing. But in fairness, I don't really have a bad word to say about him. It's and he would have agreed, but I think it's funny. It's
So
funny.
coming off the back of that, would you how do you feel about like relationship content creators or like people who like are like
Yeah.
relationship online, like very much so?
I
How do you feel
mean,
about
I know this sounds so bad, and like I should really be more paying attention to it. That's a really bad English. Sorry, guys. I'm still nursing a hangover. Um, I genuinely
that?
just, whatever makes people happy, I really don't care. There's nothing that really irks me. Do you know what? There's one guy that really bothers me on social media, and he on TikTok posts about going on the session all the time, and like I think that that's very damaging when there's young people on TikTok. But other than that, there's no one that I like. I like couple TikToks and stuff that put everything online if
If
they
you
want
fell
to
in
do it.
love,
Oh yeah.
hypothetically, if you fall in love, are you when are you grid posting them? Are you grid posting them?
I always say it's either one or two things. I'll either be in like a relationship and you won't know about it, which I have like before. I've been in one and nobody's known about it because I don't post about it online.
Mm.
Or I will be like, my man, my man, my man, my man. And he will be fucking hard launched. There won't even be any of this soft launch going on. It will literally be like hard launch picture of him on the Instagram grid, not story. Because I want people to come back and be like, oh my God, you know what I mean? But
Hmm.
yeah. I wouldn't be
Yeah.
like I wouldn't be showing off, I'd say, but like I think I would be very like sh if we were sharing really nice moments, I probably would. I wouldn't be like, "Oh my God, he got me this," but like if say if we were on holidays, I'd be like, "Oh, he looks so nice in this picture," kind of a thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, this morning actually Kanye West was getting a lot of flack for posting his wife, and he did this whole video and he was like, I post my wife because she makes me happy. Like post your wife more, like all this kind of
Mm,
stuff. But it just made me think about it from that blind item
yeah.
that we got. Like I
Yeah.
didn't even share my relationship online. And like imagine if you do, like as a like
Yeah.
person online, you're opening up the relationship to like the evil eye. I don't
Yeah.
think I'm gonna post anyone again until I'm married,
Really.
until I have the rock in my hand. And
Yeah,
that's going
true,
to be my
actually.
launch.
I feel like that's it. It could go one or two ways for me. I'm either like gonna be like my man, my man, my man, or else it's like you won't even know that I have one,
Do you know what's
you know?
really creepy though? When I did post Vinny, which was like, I'd say twice, maybe
Yeah.
he got a tag on my story. The amount, he was private,
I was
the
in your close
amount
friends when you posted this. I remember being like, oh my God, you showed how many sticker taps were on his thing.
and follow requests he got. He
Yeah.
was like, and the way he uses social media is so funny. He'd be like, he'd accept the follow and follow them back because he's like, well, they requested to follow me, so it's rude if I
Yeah.
don't follow. I'm like,
That's so funny.
but
That's
the like,
gas.
why would you? And I remember a content creator posting before, she like posted about her breakup, and immediately girlies were like sliding into his DMs, being
But yeah,
like,
was that
I'm so
Sinead
sad.
Haig? Who was it? I
Yeah,
think
I
it
think it
was.
happened. I
Yeah.
think it happens a lot of
It does happen to a lot.
like
It's
people be waiting
crazy.
on those sidelines,
I know. Some people be be waiting on that downfall for real, for real.
preying on the downfall,
I
waiting
know.
3 years to tell me that my ex walked out on me.
Yeah. Like
I've never been
what?
walked out on. I'm just clarifying. I've never
What
been
you
walked.
know when like people like post things and it's gonna be like Rebecca's breakup in brackets anonymous version, you know, like Taylor's version. Anonymous person's version. Speaking
Tell
of
me more about my
Taylor, go
breakup.
on.
Honestly, I'm really intrigued to see what else happened to me.
I actually, you might as well write to me about my ones as well because although I've actually said about it on mine, you might as well. You can,
I'd actually love more hypothetical thoughts on my other breakups as opposed to that one because like that
mm,
one was my favorite one. You know,
yeah,
that was the least like what do people think about the others? Tell me, please.
yeah. What's going on?
I'm like, tell me what you think about me. I'd love to know.
You know what?
Um,
Yeah, do you want to talk about Taylor?
oh,
Do I what?
sorry, Miss stayed up till 6 a.m. watching the Super Bowl just to see her and Travis on the field after the game because I knew the
Yeah.
Chiefs were winning. The astrology pointed to the Chiefs. The astrology, no, I'm not even
Sorry,
joking.
no, it's just like it's so funny because whenever you talk, you know that meme I always send you,
Yeah,
your man in the board, that's you, like literally now. It's so funny. Keep going. I
connecting the
love it, like,
dots.
but keep going.
My favorite astrologer basically she always posts her like predictions for everything.
Mhm.
She's so on point all the time. And her predictions for the Super Bowl were basically that it's going to be a really slow game and
Yeah.
who you think's going to win is not going to like she was like obviously the astrology for both the teams is good because you don't get to the Super Bowl without like good transits basically.
Mm.
But she said that she thinks the Chiefs are going to win and it's going to be like down to the wire. And when I'm not an American football, I'm not a sports fan, first
Mm.
of all.
Yeah, we
Definitely
know
not
that.
an American football fan. I had no idea what was going on for like 99.9% of the game, but it was down to the last 9 seconds.
Mm.
And they won on the 13th play. Let me just say, the 13th play,
Do you want to
they
tell them
won.
the significance of 13?
Are we listing off all the things? Because there's a lot.
I mean, you can do five, maybe.
So Taylor's number is 13.
Yeah.
She was born on the 13th. She turned 13 on the 13th. The flight, she just won her 13th Grammy.
Mm.
The Super Bowl was the 13th match of Travis's or game that she was attending.
Mm-hmm.
She flew from Japan 13 hours to be there.
Mm-hmm.
They won on the 13th play. There are so
Mm-hmm.
many 13s. 87 is his number. 87 from 100. I don't know why 100 is significant, is 13. It
Mm-hmm.
was on the 11th of the 2nd,
Mm-hmm.
11 and 2, 13. It's actually kind of creepy, but
Y'all Swifties are crazy.
that I don't even link all these things up. I just watch like
Mm,
other people do the brain math. I'm not out here like
yeah.
in the depths of, I just watch other people's thing and I'm like, oh my God, yeah, that makes so much sense. I'm not like figuring out, like so many people have like fan theories and stuff. I don't, and it's not that I look down on people who
Yeah.
do that. It's just I don't have the mental capacity to be, with the
Yeah.
board, the connections. I
Yeah.
leave that for astrology.
Yeah, I
But
was going to say you've that taken up already with astrology for
but
sure.
did you see the video of Travis won? They won the Super Bowl, or last year, Travis was dancing to Love Story
Mm,
in
I
February, like
saw.
on the stage. And then this year they were dancing to it together.
Did you see she actually posted him to her public TikTok?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh my God, I sent it to you on TikTok. Like Taylor,
Oh,
this is the first time Taylor's actually posted him.
was that today?
Yep.
How did I miss that? I was live on TikTok before I came here, to be fair. Um, oh my God, isn't this the first time she's posted him? Hold on.
I can't believe I'm the one that sent that to you as
It's
well.
a friends and families accidentally going clubbing with your parents is something everyone should try at least once in their life.
I
That's so
know.
funny. Oh, it was
Speaking
so,
of
the videos of him were so cute. Anyway, we're so happy. Go on.
speaking of I have two stories to segue from this, but I think I'm going to start with Tate McRae's performance at the NHL because we didn't get a chance to record it. When you hear this podcast, girls, we've literally recorded the day before, not even maybe about 20 hours beforehand.
Not even
Because
24 hours.
yeah, because I was gone to London this weekend and Rebecca went out Thursday night. So by the time she woke up, I was actually on the way to the airport to go into to things. So you're getting this lifetime. But Tate McRae performed. So we would have recorded before the weekend before that for the one that went out last week. And she performed at the NHL All-Stars weekend. She was like helping pick the teams as well. Justin Bieber did it as well, and other people did as well, obviously. But I know nothing about hockey, so when I say it, I don't want anyone who listens to hockey be like, you know nothing. I know nothing, but I fucking love Tate McRae. And she performed, and her live performance was honestly like spectacular. Where's
It
my
was a
English gone?
spectacle. It was
No, it was
spectacular.
spectacular. Oh my God, my English is gone. Um, it was spectacular. It was so, so good. But what I think is so iconic is so basically her family are a big hockey family. Her brother actually plays for a really good team, I think, as well. And I think his name begins with a T as well, does it? Anyway, I don't know. I'm going all the way into this, but anyway, she performed at the All Stars thing, but her ex-boyfriend is also a hockey player, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, it's so iconic that you make it to the NHL All Stars before your ex-boyfriend does." Like, do you know what I mean? But I just thought that was a big win for the girlies.
That was a big win for the girlies
Yeah,
ahead
and
of
she's going out with Kid
Valentine's Day.
Laroi. They announced their like relationship kind of that weekend. They were caught holding hands, like and stuff. There was like speculation where they together, and now it's confirmed that they are.
Genuinely, in the last week, there has been the pop culture world, the world of culture, the world of celebrity has been feeding us. There has been so much news.
Kim Kardashian and Odell Beckham Jr. They've confirmed they're together now.
He was behind me at a Drake concert.
Was he?
Yeah, I didn't know who he was at the time, but all the guys around me were like, "Oh my God, Odell Beckham," and I was like, "David
Yeah.
Beckham? David Beckham's here?
Who? Who?
Who?
Who?
Who?
Who is he? A fucking owl? Who?
Who?"
Who?
Beyonce
I know.
dropped music mid Super Bowl.
Yeah, and she's also and now apparently she's going on tour again.
Yeah, she just announced an album, country album.
Yeah. Well, I apparently somebody had spectated like Beyonce fans that it was going to be aliens versus cowboys. Do you remember that game when you were younger? And she
Oh,
released Renaissance, which like had Alien Superstar, that song in it. So I don't know if it's going to be 100% country, but you know,
there was something else that happened that I wanted to reference, and I can't remember right this second.
Ariana Grande has a new album coming out on
She
the
does. Megan Thee
28th of March.
Stallion.
Megan Thee Stallion does, and she's going on tour.
The
Um,
trailer for
or
Wicked
Wicked
dropped
dropped. Yeah, a lot has happened. I'm glad we're actually getting to talk about them in real time for once in our fucking lives as
for
well. This is so
once.
good.
For once in our lives. What was I gonna say? What else
I found, oh
happened?
my God, I started watching this thing one day as well. Guys,
Is it good? I
yeah,
want to start watching it. It's
Rebecca, you need to watch it because you're a lover girl and that shit is for you. Like, there's 14 episodes. But the guy in it, I literally started watching it because I was in London the weekend visiting my brother and his girlfriend, Abby. Shout out, Abby. Love her so much. She loves this
love you.
podcast. She listens to every single episode. Like she was like saying things the last day, and she's like, I feel like I'm quoting you back the podcast now. She's so, so, so cute. But we had a lovely girly weekend. So Connor was a bit hungover on this Sunday. So it was the Sunday morning we started watching it. And like we managed to get through like 4 episodes straight away. But it's based on a book, so you know it's going to be good. It's a
You know
romance
it's
book,
going to be good.
obviously. But there was a movie made about it years ago, and Anne Hathaway was in it. But this is like a remake of it. So anyway, I was like, that guy in it is a fucking snack and a half. He's so handsome. And just
You
like, do you
text me
ever
saying
like
I found my husband, but
I
about
literally,
it.
like, I'm not joking. Like, I was watching the TV, I kind of had butterflies. I was like, he's a brilliant actor anyway, if I'm getting butterflies watching the TV. And I was like, oh my God, he's so handsome. And I looked up where he was from, and he's from Hammersmith. And my brother lives in Hammersmith. And I was like, brother, get in here and meet your meet your future brother-in-law. Connor was like, he's from there. He mightn't still be around this area. I was like, doesn't matter. It's still a connection. Everything's connected, like Rebecca
Everything
said.
is always connected.
Everything is always connected. So yeah, you should watch that. It's really good. I'm on like the last 15 episodes of
It it's
last
supposed
15
to be
episode,
really good.
last
I've seen a
15
lot
minutes
about
of the
it.
last episode. Huh?
I've seen a lot about it. It's supposed to be good.
Yeah. Are we gonna tell them that you did the assigned task for the podcast? You don't have to say what you did, but Rebecca went on a date.
I went on a date. I
She
went on
did.
my first date in Rome with an Italian man.
Mm.
Um,
Ciao, Bella.
someone actually asked me this on TikTok. They were like, "Have you started dating in Rome?" And I went on one date. I agreed to it when I was highly intoxicated at like
Mm.
4 in the morning. So there was no
Mm.
going back
Yeah.
because I wouldn't be that. I would never agree to a date and then like
Take it
go.
back.
Yeah, unless obviously they did something that would make me want to do that, but they didn't.
Yeah. I've done that
Um,
so many times, so I can't relate.
yeah, I went on a date. Um, I don't think he's the love of my life. I didn't fall in love,
Yeah, but that's the whole point of
unfortunately.
dating. Like, you know what I mean? You date around.
I know I've just never had like a dating. I don't know how people, I was saying to one of my friends afterwards, like as a woman, like we were on FaceTime when I was getting ready. Like I think I nearly got ready for longer than I was on the date between like the shower, the hair, the makeup, you know?
Mm,
And I was like, that's all fair and well if it's a nice date and you enjoy yourself.
mm,
But if you have an awful time,
mm.
it's like, what did I do this for? You know?
Yeah, I know that's the thing about dating. It's like you never know what you're gonna get
And I
in the
think as
dating pool.
well, my friend said, she made a really good point. She said, because you're so comfortable in your own company, like, some people don't enjoy spending time alone. I know
Mm,
we heavily can't relate to that.
can't relate. Can't relate.
We love spending time alone
Love it.
and talking to each other while we're spending time alone.
Mm,
But she was like, because you're so comfortable spending time alone, if you go out and you have a really shitty date, you'd be like, I would have a better time if I took myself out for dinner or if I stayed at home
mm.
and cooked. Like she was like, some
She's
people
right
can't.
though. She is right. You do
Yeah.
love
And she was
going on
like,
your
the
own date.
more you enjoy spending time by yourself, the harder dating is because obviously it's great if you have a good experience and a good time and meet a good person. But she was like, your your alone time is being wasted by these dates, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because dates happen in the evening, which is when you have your alone time.
Yeah, that is so true. That is so true. Yeah,
So I
I
thought
went
that was
through a
a good
phase where
point.
like I used to get really like nervous and anxious before dates, but maybe I just wasn't really sure of myself back then. And like I would like cancel last minute because I just couldn't like the actual anxiety that was overcoming my body
Yes.
like was too much. Um, but yeah, I know it's crazy. But I do think we love our own time, but that's also not a good thing because once you get too comfortable with your own space,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know,
I
can
know.
I say, because I know that this is a Valentine's special, one thing that really, like, if you're single on Valentine's Day, can I also, I don't really care because I don't think Valentine's Day is a big day. But you know what really bothers me when people are in relationships when they do the whole, honestly, it'll come when you least expect it. When you least expect it. I'm like, shut up.
I do think it does come when you least expect it, though.
I genuinely think that like I can't say it because it's gonna sound so mean. I can't say it, but I feel like sometimes, how do I articulate this without being really mean?
Okay.
I feel like
Mhm.
sometimes when people say that, it's because they don't know how to talk to people when they're single and they don't realize that people sometimes are happier being single than being in a relationship. So I feel like sometimes when people do the whole, honestly, it'll come when you least expect it, they're assuming that that person wants a relationship.
I get you. It's like the condescending,
It's condescending, yes. I didn't know how to say it in a way where I was like, that's going to sound so mean. That's how I was like, I have to be careful with what I say
because
here.
I do think genuinely, like any relationship I've got into has came when I least expect it, which is fine if I'm like complaining to you about dating and I'm like blah
Mm.
blah blah, and you're like genuinely just like take a step back, stop
But
dating, like and
also, I'm not
focus on
being bad,
yourself
but all relationships happen then. Like,
unexpectedly.
yeah, all of them are unexpected. So when people say
Yeah,
it, it's like, well, all of them are. You know what I mean?
especially for you, you're like I get tricked
I get
every.
tricked and then I'm in it. Like we all know this. This is a commonality thing in life. Everybody knows that. Like no relationship starts with like two people kind of saying from the start, well, look, you know, I want a relationship, so we're gonna start dating each other, try each other on for size. Like no one's that open with dating. So when they're like, I honestly didn't expect it, it's like, yeah, of course
Yeah,
you
I'm kind of
would.
talking to someone at the moment that is very unexpected. I think I'm getting Valentine's Day flowers tomorrow from this person. Like,
Oh my God. My mom actually, pause.
wait, why are you pausing? Where are you going? Come back. Ah,
A minute. My mommy got me these for Valentine's Day. Aren't they so cute?
that's so
I know.
cute.
I know.
I love
Screaming,
that.
my mom, my mom, my mom.
My mom, my mom, my mom.
I know. How cute are they?
That
She's
is
such a cutie.
that is so adorable.
I
I
know.
genuinely, yeah, like my dad said to me yesterday, he was like, I'm sad I won't get you like a card and flowers.
Oh, that's so
Every year my dad
cute.
used to put in like an anonymous thing in the letterbox,
Oh,
like
and you were like, oh my
from
God,
my secret.
Valentine's.
Oh my God, I got a Valentine. But in my dad's like full handwriting, and like I knew my parents' handwriting because I was the girly
Yeah.
forging signatures from
Oh
a
my God,
very early
I
age.
did that as well. Why do we get so good at that at a young age? I can still do
I
my dad and my mother's signatures so well.
Do you know what? My parents' signatures is like the exact same as well. I don't know
Yeah.
why they do that, but like it was just because they both have the same like initials.
Yeah. Oh, they do. So
Yeah,
yes.
so it was
Yeah.
so easy. So and my writing, I think, is also very similar to theirs
Yeah.
because of that. But that's so cute that your mom got you a
Yeah.
Valentine.
And
And do you know
got
what? A Valentine doesn't have to come from a boyfriend or girlfriend.
no, not at all. For years, Eve has been my Valentine's. She always gets me something on Valentine. Well, like we used to always get each other something on Valentine's Day, and then I think we were just like, I was in a relationship, then she was. Now
Yeah.
we're both single again. Maybe I'll send up some flowers to her tomorrow.
I've
She's
always
cute though.
bought myself, I've always treated myself on Val. I remember when Instagram was like 2014 Instagram with like the
Yeah.
filters and the borders.
Yeah.
I'll never forget an Instagram post I put up, and it was like a book, a lip gloss, and something else. It was like Happy Valentine's from me to me or something.
Oh,
It was
I
like
love that
this
self-love.
blue book. What book was
Aoife
it?
is so good in the way of I was always like single, so she was always like didn't like I was always like when I was younger I used to be like oh my God I feel so shit on Valentine's Day and like she'd always do something really cute like do you know what actually shout out to Aoife, she is literally one of the best friends you can ever have in your life. Like I remember one day like Aoife will do the most thoughtful, like it doesn't even have to be like this massive thing, but she's the most thoughtful genuine human being, and like I love her so much, and I always say I don't know what I would do without her because she's genuinely the kindest person ever. Like I remember my birthday when the lockdown happened. It was like, you couldn't have a birthday. And I was like, oh my God, I missed my birthday, da da da. But I was like, it's fine because like I never really like to do like big things on my birthday anyway. And then like it was like May. And I was like to Aoife, oh, I'll just call up like to see you, do you know, whatever. Because this was like when we'd gone into like phase two or whatever, maybe it was like phase one, phase two, where you could like be around one or two people and like it was fine. She told me to call up to her house and she said, will you come in the back door? There's something wrong with the front door. And I was like, yeah, no problem. So drove in the back and I could hear my favorite song playing. And as I was walking in, her and Ashing were jumping up and down and it was like, happy birthday. And she had like a bottle of Prosecco and like snacks on the table to celebrate my birthday because I didn't get to celebrate a birthday. And like she just does like the most like genuinely nice things like without thinking. Like there's nothing like that. She used to always get me like a flower or flowers. Like I remember she used to get me like a single rose on Valentine's Day and like a Valentine's Day card. And like the things she does, like if something happened, Eve would be up there in 2 seconds. Like you wouldn't even have to. She'd be there in like the drop of a hat. Like she's just so cute. So like I think I'm so lucky and fortunate in my life to have people like that around me. Because like even my mom like get me flowers. I'm like, you're so cute. And that's why the standards are so high and that's why I'm single.
The bar is so high because of the women in our lives, and
Literally.
relationships between women are so important. And it's like, if you're single on Valentine's Day, just
Mm.
do like, love is not just relationships.
No, love is with you, girl, and with the
You
Lord.
can show love to all the people in your life
Yeah,
that aren't men or women that you could be dating, or people that you could be dating.
yeah, so true.
And
So
mic
true.
drop on that one, you know what I mean? And Tria,
Amen, Queen.
I'm doing a whole thing. I'm doing a whole thing tomorrow where I'm like, I'm getting a blow dry. I was gonna take
I
myself to
love that for you,
well,
Rebecca. That's
mm,
lovely.
I did a whole
Yeah.
video on my YouTube channel before, and for Valentine's Day. I went into town. I got a John Doe's Kinder Bueno donut, which, if you're from our hometown, the John
They're
Doe's Kinder
lovely.
Bueno
Yeah,
donuts. I
they're so
got
good.
I got it. I think it was during oh yeah, I think we were on lockdown, so I couldn't do anything. And
Mm,
got a portion of chips, like from Jimmy Greasy's. Went
mm.
home, set up the table with a rose, and had like a Valentine's Day.
So
Valentine's is
cute.
what you make it.
It
So
is,
let's make it
truly.
rock.
That was so
Life's
class.
what you make.
Let's make it rock. That was so rock and roll, chic and sexy at the same time. Um,
Let's make it rock. Do you have any like, I was trying to think of like standout Valentine's experience or like horrendous Valentine's experiences, and I don't think I have any, but I'm sad that we didn't like put it up in the story and ask people to share their
Yeah, I'm
Valentine's like
sad we
fucking
didn't think of that. Sorry, I've
oh.
been I've been on the go so badly all
Yeah,
weekend
you've had a
that
weekend. Tell us about yesterday.
I actually will say that I got chatted up in the airport when I was holding my breath so I wouldn't vomit. I was so hungover, guys. Also, can I just say, like my knee is killing me because I fell on Sunday night. So basically we've talked about the fact that I want to hopefully travel at some point. So I have been just, getting ahead of myself, getting things organized, and I was supposed to get biometrics done in Dublin yesterday. So I thought, oh, I'm going to London. Heathrow is like genuinely 10, 15 minutes from where my brother lives. So I just said, you know what, I'll fly Heathrow to Dublin, get that done, and then fly Dublin to Kerry.
Yeah.
Little did I know that I would fall, like have a sprained ankle, don't know what I've done to the knee. Nobody knows what I've done to the knee. I can't even touch it because it's actually cut on top, but it's swollen all around it. Like I can't bend it properly. Like I can't bend my knee to put my socks on, just to say.
Oh,
Um, yeah, and I was in the airport and this guy came up to me and I was like walking to WH Smith. Now, I just kept thinking, get into WH Smith, get Sprite, electrolyte drink and water and just if you need to puke, go to the toilet like straight away. And this
mhm.
guy, I could feel him looking at me when I was going through security. He like was like, "Excuse me, miss," and I couldn't hear him. And then I went into the shop and he came up to me. His name was Charles. He's from New York. And
Ooh.
he asked for my number, and I've never handed out my number so quickly in my life to get somebody away from me because I genuinely thought I was going to throw up when he was talking to me. I was like, okay, bye, bye. I like walked away. I was like, "Ugh." Like I was walking past Louis Vuitton and whatever else was there, Gucci. And I was like, I'm going into the toilet to get sick now. And I know people are like, oh, Oh, yeah, she must have been hungover. No, once I start puking, that's it. I'm puking for the day. Not only did I puke all over Heathrow Airport in different toilets, I also puked on the flight from London to Dublin, so much so that I couldn't actually go get those biometrics done. So instead, what I did all day yesterday was wait around Dublin Airport in Terminal 1, waiting to get out of fucking departures. They wouldn't let me drop my bag, so way too early for my flight. So I couldn't even go through security. I was waiting outside. I had literally Starbucks and Burger King on FaceTime to Rebecca for about 3 hours. That could have been a podcast in itself. And I was limping then. Of course, the flight from Dublin to Kerry is like the very far end. So I had to go like
Yeah. Oh,
all the way down
yeah.
to the very, very end, like hobbling. So by the time that I got onto the flight and my mom came to collect me, I was like, I'm so glad that this day is done, Mom. And she was like, I'd say so, BB. Like, but yeah, so my knee is fucked, but I had a great weekend. But
I have two questions.
yes,
Was Charles good looking and did he text you?
yes, he was good looking, and yes, he texted me.
Wait, so we're just name dropping his full name instead of
Yeah,
calling him
he's
like
never gonna
airport
see
man?
this. I don't follow him on Instagram. He just got my number.
Wait, this could be my
Mm.
new thing of not having men on social media and you could just did you
Yeah,
text him back?
yeah, but he had an Android.
So you're are you WhatsApping him?
He WhatsApped me. Yeah.
Gorge.
Oh, sorry,
Do we
guys. I'm
have
about to
WhatsApp
go
man?
crazy again. He texted me basically being like, "This is my number," and then he said to me, he was like, "I said, oh, thanks. Safe journey home. Same to you. We gonna speak soon." I goes, "Yeah, for sure," because I was just puking.
Yeah.
And then he goes, I might have to come out to Ireland. And I goes, well, I'm not going to be there long more, lol. And then he was just like texting or whatever. And then he was like, um, he said, you looked tired. He said, oh, what brought you to London? And I said, oh, I was visiting my brother and some family because I had a lovely weekend with my family over there.
Mhm.
And like my cousins and everything were around, so it was great. And so he was like, oh, you look tired but nice though. He goes, you know, I had to say what's up.
It's
What is it
giving
with the
was
what's
go
good,
shouty.
shawty? It's me, Shane's.
That's
And
what was in my head this whole time.
he was like, he was like, I was looking like, who is that? And then the sunglasses emoji thing. I was like, that's very kind of you, but I look like I've been dragged back from the dead, which was true. I was so hungover. And he goes, you knew I was coming to talk to you, didn't you? And I goes, I'll be so honest with you, Charles. I was focusing on not throwing up. And then he just sent me like this, like Tom and Jerry putting his head on the cushion. And I goes, me for real. And he goes, word. So yeah,
Why
that was
was he
that.
in the UK? Is he
Yeah.
a businessman? Was he like there for work?
I didn't even ask him. I didn't care enough. I was just focusing on getting through
Yeah,
yesterday.
it's the bad day he should have waited till today to
Yeah.
text you.
Yeah, you should
No.
have. In
Yeah.
fairness, I respect that he went straight in with the text, like, and you could tell he
Yeah,
was
he
waiting like
wasn't
10
waiting
minutes.
around.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
You know what? It's giving if he wanted to, he would.
yeah, and he did clearly. Lads, what are we like? I feel like when I'm talking about these things, I mean, like, I sound like I'm being mean to men, but I'm actually really, really nice to them.
You are.
Um,
You called him Angel and like you're
Angel,
very cute.
I'm very kind to men. I just
That
make them feel sad.
10% though.
That 10% though,
That
huh?
10% though.
That 10% do be 10%ing.
Uh,
Girls, we've realized that like a lot of, I say girls as well, so I'm sorry because I know we do have guys that listen to this as well, but the girlies make up the majority, so we live in a democracy here. Um, what's it called? We realize that a lot of you girly pops are actually from the States as of the last 2 weeks,
especially on YouTube.
especially on YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, what's good, shotties? It's me,
Let's
Neve.
go, shawty.
What's good,
And
shotties? Me, Neve.
but
Um,
also only 30% of people who watch on YouTube are subscribed.
yeah. Oh, I did see
So
that today as well. I was saving all the analytics.
yeah,
Um,
press that subscribe button, please. Thanks. We love you.
and follow us on
We love you.
Instagram.
We love you.
We love
We love
you.
you.
I'll do some
Any
more. And follow us on Spotify.
speaking was there was one other relationship thing that dropped recently that I was trying to what did you think of Usher's performance?
No comment.
Really?
Mm,
Why no comment? Tell me.
no comment. I didn't
Oh,
think.
did you see him and Alicia Keys though?
I love the way I didn't say anything. I was like, I just didn't think. Yeah, I saw that the way that they were. Um, I think Usher, that's why I have no comment. I think he is a king in his own right. And, I listen to all his songs. He's literally in all my playlists. And yeah, you know what? He's doing his thing and we gotta respect it. But I mean, like, when you compare it to last year to Rihanna, there's no comparison.
I think it's I think with the Super Bowl, they tried to get too many songs in.
Yeah, and I think there was too much going on. I think what I loved about Rihanna's is it was simplified. Like there was loads of dancers. There was like a structural engineer thing involved between those floating glass things.
Yeah.
And she didn't have anyone come out and join her. The only feature she had was Fenty Gloss and her new baby in her belly.
Which was I love Usher.
Mhm.
He has a residency in Vegas, but the song was changing like every 15 seconds. Like you
Yeah,
were just getting into it. And I get it when you're an iconic artist like that you've such a big
discography, yeah.
yeah.
We're
But
both doing that today, it's fine.
because I think there's such a
Mm,
rush with the halftime show because they've just set up a whole stage. But also, it's like American football is so slow paced anyway. Like we could have a bit more time for the halftime show
we could
because
have a bit
a lot
more
of
time for
people
it, I think.
tune in for the halftime show.
Yeah, but I suppose they have to get the stage up and down again before they get back on the,
I know, but
you
it
know.
was, I just thought he was dripping sweat. Like he was running around the place.
I know. And you know what? I respect the hustle, but I just think too much was going on. Too many cooks in the kitchen.
My favorite part was the Let It Burn and also
That was my favorite part of it as well, to be fair.
the Let It Burn and the bit with Little John. What's the song with Little John?
Uh I saw
Oh,
he had oh
remember I
yeah,
shared
was
the
with
Hannah
Lil Jon.
Burner thing?
I didn't mind the one where he was singing I Want to Make Love in This Club because that's one of my favorite songs of all time. He's actually going on a world tour, oh sure, I wouldn't mind seeing him. But
Hey,
yeah, I don't know. Who was the one that he brought out and I was like, oh my God, I can't even think of his name.
it
He's so
was the Hannah
old.
Burner reel that I shared to my story of that song.
But can I just comment on those memes about Alicia Keys?
What memes? I didn't see any
There was
memes.
memes of Alicia Keys because she wasn't singing and no one saying Alicia what keys.
Are the
I was
keys
like,
in the
that was
room with
so
us?
funny. That was so funny. Like,
Yeah,
um,
she really missed that first note.
I know. Guys, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to wrap this up. I have to get back to work.
That's okay because I'm dying to pee. I just
I
found,
could see you rocking in the seat as well. It's so funny. I know you so well when you're dying to go to the toilet.
I've been dying to pee for like 30 minutes now. I
Um,
found the Instagram post
what was
on my
it?
old Instagram. First of all, this is the picture. This is what my
Oh, Fault in
Valentine's
Our
to myself
Stars.
haul.
Wait, Looking for Alaska was one of my favorite books when I was younger.
Looking for Alaska, The Fault in Our Stars, a benefit professional.
Mm.
Two, oh my God, Bourgeois. Remember that makeup brand
Mm.
Bourgeois?
I got invited to the premiere of Looking for Alaska as well. It was my favorite book. So I like entered a competition, I won it, and I went to the premiere with my ex, yeah. I know, I know. What was I gonna say? Yeah, love you
Dear
guys.
Rebecca, happy Valentine's Day. You're amazing. Love from your one and only Rebecca.
Rebecca.
And then it goes, she knows me too well.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Oh,
Um,
Instagram back in the day.
I'm telling
What
you.
a time. What a
Okay,
time.
girlies, happy Valentine's Day.
We hope you treat yourself today.
Treat
I
yourself.
treat yourself to something.
Even if it's a chocolate bar or you're gonna have a really nice long shower, you're having a glass of wine, treat yourself.
Treat yourself
I love
today.
that thing. Treat yourself 2011. Treat yourself. One day you're mean da 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 buy treat ourselves to whatever. Expensive clothing. Treat yourself. Da 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 da. Treat yourself. I'll have to put the clip up after this. It's so
I think
funny.
I think you will because I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, but shall we? Okay, bye girlies.
Don't forget the anonymous submissions. We want to talk to you
Yes.
next week.
We
Give
do.
us your
And
dilemmas.
to the girl who sent that in, please give us an say girly or guy. Sorry, I'm just assuming. Did I assume your gender in 2024? I don't know.
No, mm, maybe.
Okay, anyway, love you guys.
Hasta la vista.
Bye. So nice.
Ciao.